strangle, when you have a scanner set up, what are you looking for? Like, what kind of stocks are you looking for if you have
So
a strangle?
if I'm looking to strangle something, I'm looking for stocks that are kind of in currently looking for stocks that are kind of in the same price bracket as Ford with about similar options liquidity, and that's kind of where American Airlines came into our scope, so to speak. And essentially, I was able to just look at options volume leaders, and then invert the list to go from smallest price to biggest price, but stay within a large cap. And then I was able to pop up American Airlines, which was just literally one level below Ford for options liquidity. So it's perfect. And there's others too. I mean, you can do this with AMC currently. AMC has actually slightly higher options liquidity than Ford right now, but it's also got a ton more volatility, which means the options are not going to be nearly as cheap as the options for Ford. And also, the implied volatility on those is going to kind of creep that delta up, and also the time decay rate. So those options will fade much more rapidly. If we were going to trade AMC, we'd probably want to be at least 2 weeks out on our opening so that we have time to adjust situations before the time decay starts to eat it. It's realistically just finding what's moving and what's producing enough volatility to keep the options liquid. That's the whole idea. So
But I thought with a long strangle, you want a large move to the up or downside and
correct.
large implied volatility.
You do to some extent. The implied volatility you want to be kind of stable, or to a point where it's not causing rapid time decay. That's your biggest enemy. Is if you're holding these overnight, you'd rather not be paying 10 cents a day to hold these things. So stuff like Ford, where it's like 2 cents a day to hold it, or maybe even a penny and a half to hold it, that's reasonable. But you look at AMC and you compare that time decay, and it's like much higher. So
So you're looking at the theta,
right,
and then what makes you find a like a cash number for the theta? Like you're talking about 10 and 1 cents and all that.
right. So you got to realize when it's saying that in a decimal, it's literally reflecting pennies on the dollar. So if a theta of
Okay.
0.02, it's going to be 2 cents per share per day of time decay. So that 2 cents is always multiplied by 100 because your contract controls 100 shares, and that equates to being $2 a day, or 200 pennies a day.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. I thought that a long strangle was where you wanted. So like in my head, it would have seemed like AMC is good because you're preying off the meme investors because
Right.
they're just going up and down and up and down and up and down.
Pretty much. I mean, you can go into AMC and do this, but the difference is that if you're running a long strangle, ideally you'd like to leg into that kind of in the afternoon or middle of the day when the options implied volatility is at its lowest, and then kind of either trade it into power hour by legging back out profitably on each leg, or in the worst case scenario, hold it overnight and try to dump it on the open volatility. And if you look at AMC, I mean, shoot, you can see there's always volatility in that sucker, and it's always making big moves. And it's got plenty of movement. That's not the problem. The time decay is where it's going to get you. So if you were to try and open a position at the open or near the open, that implied volatility is going to be so high that it's going to fade by afternoon, and it's probably going to cost you quite a bit to hold that position. Whereas if you can leg into it in the afternoon or around 12, 1 o'clock, and then wait for the close to take that volatility, your day trades are going to be just awesome in those things. So
And then
it's
do you want to put each leg so one leg goes under support and one leg goes above resistance in your area?
correct, and it just doesn't matter which way it moves as long as it moves. And the idea behind it is, or the difference between this and Ford is, I would rather not hold options on AMC overnight if I'm looking to hold a strangle, because that overnight time decay is gonna really cost you. So ideally, if I was to do that, I would make sure that I had either the ability to day trade it in a non-PDT affected account, or a cash account. Ideally, would be even better. And if you're running it in a cash account, you get kind of that whole benefit of you don't have to worry about PDT. As long as you have settled funds in the account for the day, you can trade every penny of those settled funds. And then since you're trading options, they settle overnight. You can do it all again the next day on settled funds. So you can
Yeah.
consider doing
I
this
have
over and over and
one
over
more
again.
question.
Sure.
Stop hogging your time. So yesterday when I was paper trading, I told you I did a short strangle. I don't know why I did it, but it had a set spread. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't allowed to adjust my own spread for the legs.
Huh.
So
Uh,
I'm with a long strangle, I would be able to like a how far of a spread would you want between each leg, and like what is a usual if there is one.
so with things like Ford, AMC, and American Airlines, all three of them have weekly options, and they have 50-cent spreads. So you can pretty much focus on your legs being about $1 wide, so they're both at the money, and that 50 cents is going to be in the middle. So if you've got range where price is ranging between the two strikes, leg into them as you can so that you can keep a profit between the two legs. And then when it breaks either above your call strike or below your put strike, I mean, it's just like Christmas. All of a sudden, the dollars start flowing, where the winning side will just overwhelm the loss on the losing side so much that you can close the whole position profitably. And if it's a momentum day where you've got like a huge breakout in one direction or the other, you can close the losing side and just ride the momentum on the winning side till the momentum quits and literally just completely kill it. Like the other day, was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. That's when I took that 580% return on Ford. Is exactly that. The day opened, it started trending below support, so I got rid of the calls immediately and rode the puts down and just cleaned house. It was just essentially entering that position was super low risk, and when it broke, I was able to react fast enough and pretty much just take a massive profit. And Stone did the same thing. He didn't sacrifice the call side fast enough, but he still took on a 450% return on a position overall, just closing the whole thing. So it's win-win. I mean, it's a great strategy for when you're expecting volatility, and you're just you don't have to care what direction it is. So like if you've been trading at bearish for so long, eventually it's going to have a relief rally. So ideally, you want to be in a neutral position, because the risk of that relief rally eating your lunch is nullified, because the call side will take care of it. So hopefully I didn't go on too much of a tangent there.
No, I mean I needed it because I was kind of discouraged yesterday because I just couldn't understand what the
Right.
hell was going on.
And it's weird that it wouldn't let you adjust the width on the short strangle. That's kind of odd.
I they're like Apple. It's like you know reverse or intended crappy engineering if you're not paying for the proper product.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, going into a short strangle, it wouldn't let you open it naked, one leg at a time, because on the call side at least your risk is unlimited. I wonder if it will let you leg into the put side first though, because if you could do that, and your brokerage would let you turn a one single direction trade into a dual direction trade, that would work if you legged into it, I think.
Does Webull have paper trading?
It does, and you can paper trade options, and they do
All right.
fill pretty accurately too. So like you go set a limit order, it'll take about the proper amount of time to fill for you.
All right. I'm probably gonna switch to them. I'm just really not impressed with TOS, but that's a personal opinion.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
If you
between the
hang on a second.
oh hey, between the fees and the
Oh, that's BS.
little issues that people have been having with TOS, I was never Every time I thought about opening a TOS account, I was discouraged by some sort of mix-up or some sort of shake-up that just annoyed people. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm happy with my Webull account. It just works flawlessly. It's cheap at twice the price with free commissions. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Hello. I'm coming. Got sound problems here. I
Oh.
can't hear.
I got you in the background there. It's a little low. All right, there's the bell. Let's see if we can get paid from American Airlines and Ford today. Pop open my handy smartphone for my trading machine.
Oh, it's gone up loads.
Woohoo! There you go. You should be able to close that position altogether profitably, no matter what you do.
Well, yeah, and I made that loss on that trade the other day.
Right.
I'm now 20 quid up from my initial starting thing, so this is a brilliant day for me. All right.
Wipe that loss right off the table. That's awesome.
All righty. Good morning.
Good morning.
It took me a minute to get things right.
It is a glorious morning. This
Where's
is
Creed?
payday. Schedule's conflicted,
Conflict?
so yeah. I guess the morning thing was kind of a one-time deal, and the afternoon thing, I've got an appointment I've got to get to, so I can't do our afternoon interview. So
What good are y'all anyway?
I know, right? I know.
Congratulations on everybody who made a little profit already.
I'm going to close
you.
this straight off and then start a new trade, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Way to go, by the way.
So are we looking bullish today, bearish, or sideways till Powell?
Bearish for the opening here. That Ford is just straight up paying us. I'm loving it. I'm legging out of my American Airlines position here real quick. And let me make sure I got this right. I'll let this bounce back up before I get out of it. Oh, no.
Okay.
Don't want to sell that. I want to buy that. Yes, please. Thank you. All right, Ford. Let us
Okay. I should go find some more levels here.
Woohoo.
My SPY broke through almost all the levels I had.
Let's see here. There's 7 profit there. Where's the call side? Buy that to close it. Yes. Done and done.
I am setting my Webull account up right now.
Is that Bud? Awesome.
Heck yeah, man. You're going to love it.
Yep.
Webull is
Takes
the shiznizzy.
listen, at some point, Bud, if it's if you have any trouble,
Is it
get on
easy to draw
Discord.
and chart on there?
For Jeremy, it is.
Oh, yes.
It's
It's
not difficult. It's not difficult. TOS can be a pain, but I trade on TOS. I chart on TOS and I trade on Webull on my options.
I'm also really impressed with, because you have to use it for crypto trading view.
Yeah. Well, it's got a lot of good things for being a free app and a free broker.
All right, I've legged out of everything but the puts on my American Airlines position. I had a Condor open overnight, and that is net profit. And Ford, I'm going to ride momentum here, but I think we're going to bounce for a moment here. Just looking at SPY kind of creeping into a tap on that 200 period with the 1 minute chart.
200 in the 1 minute, looking a little morning starish right there.
Yes, sir. And
We shall see.
I'll keep AMC in mind, but I want to watch SPY very closely on a 5-minute chart just to make sure we're
AMC?
Yeah, we're going to be able to start doing strangles on that soon, I think.
On
There's going to
AMC?
be,
Oh, because it keeps going down.
yeah. And the idea is in that it's going to be more focused on day trading than swing trading for those strangles. So just kind of a heads up, because the time decay on those is pretty vicious. So we want to make sure we're ahead of that. All right, here's our little bounce, but we're looking like that Morningstar is about to give up and get crushed under the 8 period here. I added VWAP to my charts today just to see something.
Oh,
And
let me come back to where you are.
check it out. Forward overnight gap down, VWAP bend right there.
Oh
1261.
yeah, you gotta love it.
Yep.
Those things work.
Oh man.
They visit
Gloriously.
VWAP. They revisit VWAP. Sometimes it's just part of a price ladder. You'll see it. It'll
Yep.
hit it. It'll pause, and then it'll go through it.
Oh yes.
The key is, for me, is working on lining up all the those VWAP bends and everything with how price is moving currently. And if it's a descending wedge and you see it kind of form a morning star or a hammer on that VWAP bend, then it's probably going to pop back up for a little bit.
Right. All right.
So we don't expect a rally from J-Paul, huh?
What time does he come on?
Not till 2:00.
Yeah, I don't think we're expecting a rally anywhere anyhow, man. It's just it's like that. All right, let me buy back this short put. Bam. Add a couple more contracts on AAL as far as sold puts, so I got to close those real quick while I can. There we go, done. I didn't realize I hadn't closed them all. I needed to double that number, sir. All right, now we're all puts today. This is the greatest part of this strategy is having that neutral position eliminates risk. So if this were to bounce up and rally from here, we would have been screwed. But since we went into it with a net profitable neutral position overnight, and that gap down made those puts just profitable, I had one position in a Condor, and that's American Airlines. I had debit spreads on both sides of price. I was able to leg out of the short call, then the long call on that little green candle there in the 1-minute chart. And then I was able to leg out of the short puts in that same green candle. And then the second green candle, I was able to get the rest of those. I just realized I had a few of them still open. So now I'm just long puts on both Ford and American Airlines. And the position was pretty much risk-free to hold overnight. And now I can just sit here and ride the momentum and print dollars. And that is definitely printing a lot of dollars today for me. Yeah. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy this for a few more minutes. All right, let me look at percentages. So, long puts, I'm up 55% on American Airlines, and long puts on Ford, those are rocking 162% so far. Pretty nice. And I'll deduce the wash on the call side of Ford was not bad. Let me go get that real quick.
Are we setting up new positions, yeah?
We can leg new positions on the open here, but ideally we want to wait till around noon, a little bit before JPOW, so that the implied volatility can shake out and we can see if there's a nice range where we can leg into the calls and puts.
So we have to wait for a range before we can set up a strangle. Is that correct?
Right. Ideally, we want to make sure that range is not just established, but we want to make sure that that range is well enough to keep it as a net profit position, or put a pad of cash between the two positions. So price at the bottom, buy the call. Price at the top, buy the put. And then that way you've got profit between the two legs and you can't lose. Well, you can with time, but you have a much stronger position going for a weekend hold or an overnight hold for that matter. All right. You want to wave to the camera, dear? Got my wife in the background. That's all right.
Yeah, so that was price hits the bottom of the range by the call, price hits the top of the range by the put.
Correct.
So we want it as high as we can for the buy the put and as low as we can for the buy the call to create a nice cushion. Yeah?
Correct. That's exactly
Okay,
it.
understood.
And every day you are getting more and more brilliant with this. By the way, I might add. Good stuff.
Who no? Your wife.
Oh crap! I'm talking to myself the whole time. I had my
Don't you hate
mute
that?
on. I'm sitting there saying all kind of great stuff that I'll
We're just
never repeat again.
We're just ignoring you.
That's fine. No, this is great. We're getting all kind of great information, but you're also giving us great information because we've got so many folks asking good questions now. This is
Absolutely.
great.
That's
really
the best
glad
part.
to have you in here, Victoria.
I just
Absolutely.
feel like I'm repeating myself and being really dumb, but it is coming together slowly. All right?
No. That's how you learn. I mean, I used to ask some of the dumbest questions, but they weren't dumb. Nothing was.
Nope. I do not believe in dumb questions.
They sit here and say all sorts of stuff, and I don't know still what the heck they're talking about. I'm kidding.
Because effectively what you're doing is the higher it is when you buy the put and the lower it is when you buy the call, the better the cushion. I'm not sure
Correct.
to stick of the cushion because that's not really the case. Well, no, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a big pillow of cash to land on. Should you have to sacrifice this entire position because the market's going sideways, it'll still be net profitable.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's like having well, I guess cash is not that soft after all, but
Hey, everything's in dollars at the moment because the pound has tanked. I'm
yeah.
making more money with the dollars.
Oh man, yeah,
No,
that's
that's
ridiculous.
unusual.
I know, right? So I'm this is good for me.
I used to source a lot of parts from the UK over there
That's a
directly.
double bottom on the 2 minute right now.
I see that.
The 1 minute as well.
I used to source a lot of parts over there, and I'd always pay attention to the exchange rate, and I would always haggle with the vendors over there. I'd be like, hey, the dollar's actually a little stronger today. You want to give me a little break on that exchange there? And because I was paying in dollars, so they were always pretty good to accommodate that. But in today's market, oh, that's gotta hurt because anything where I'm going to buy stuff from the UK, I mean, minus they will ramp up prices a little bit for inflation, of course, but still there's an advantage there.
Oh yeah, dollars is definitely where the money is right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
if I was still sourcing parts, I would be having a great time right now. I don't do that anymore, but when I did,
Parts are parts.
that's right.
Are we still trading Ford today, or are we doing American Airlines? What are we looking at now?
Doing both.
She's hooked.
We're juggling.
I love it. I love it.
I've only got one screen, so I'm trying to set it up.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, one screen. Hey, Al Brooks trades on a 13-inch
Right?
laptop.
Right?
Go look him up. You'll see he's a great trader.
That's
He
amazing.
teaches at the CME.
I
Yeah.
am hooked on this, mind. I'm enjoying myself.
It's great. It's a video game with dividends.
Yeah.
I know, right?
It pays
Okay,
you more than streaming video games on Twitch.
Now, if you want to see, we are at a red candle from 622. You'll see on SPY back on 622 on a 2 hour. You'll see where we are in regards to that low of 362.17. You'll see the structure and everything back there.
Psst, do you see the megaphone?
I see where you're. Yeah, I see the megaphone. I see the megaphone.
She's cracking now. Let's see if she
That's
continues.
expanding range. Ooh, this is a spot. Bah!
See ya. And guess what's down under this?
More money.
That purple wolf is right there, baby. Our
Oh,
target is 366 so far.
Wait. He's hammering on that, or it's hammering. She's hammering. It's hammering
Yeah.
on that pivot on the one.
All right, I might profit my AAL position here in a moment. Let's see.
Green
what this candle
candle
do.
from 616. You know, you got
I
me
just,
looking left.
read this morning on Seeking Alpha. I forget who said it, but the bottom they're predicting is, or at least to the retail investors, is 365.
I think it goes lower.
Oh, I do too, but they want the
Yeah.
retail investors to jump in
Oh,
so
yeah.
they can eat them.
Yep, they'll do exactly that. They need liquidity. They'll call those out every freaking time. It's ridiculous, and I can't count the number of lemmings that fall for that, and it just breaks my heart. But that's why we're here. We're to help prevent that. All
Goodness,
right.
if you try to text
Or
me or anything
strangles.
today, my phone's acting up. You'll have to do it on Discord, Jeremy.
Yeah, no problem.
My phone keeps telling me I have no SIM card. I keep resetting it, and then a little while later it tells me I have no cellular service.
Huh.
So I'll be heading to Verizon right across the river today.
There you go.
Get a little push here. That was that double bottom. It's on that.
So I've got 362 as the floor that I see, and then there's a pause possible at 365, but the market bottom, I don't think that's an appropriate number there. Those are rookie numbers. I would say probably 352 would be a good floor for this current measured move on a daily chart. Looking at SPY, this is your trend, your pullback, your trend equals about 355 to 352. Just on the length of that measured move, and we're already just beyond the halfway point, so it's going, it's picking up momentum. Throw that on a weekly chart, and we've seen these before. This pattern here, and look, if this is a weekly measured move, dear Lord, that floor doesn't go anywhere but like 285, 290, and I remember saying that months ago, looking at just the weekly chart. I was looking at all the control zones and kind of mapping out where all the pivots would be. And I remember talking about that. That's super low. So if this economy remains just absolutely bearish, it'll get there. Just give it time.
Okay.
I love being a bear, but that's depressing. All right, I held on to my AAL position. I was going to profit it if this broke VWAP here, but it just got rejected by it. So we're heading south, guys.
We are. We're right now at we have a 15-minute channel. And we're at the bottom of it. I do like 15-minute channels, by the way.
Yes.
Do you know it works on penny stocks? Do you know it works on penny stocks?
Channels.
3-minute channels.
Oh, yes.
Because they move so much faster. So a 3-minute range. I discovered that a long time ago. I remember telling Alex. Alex was like, "Whoa, yeah." I was like, "Okay."
Let me mark that.
Old Alex, I miss Alex.
Yeah, I do too. He's
You talk about a momentum trader. He caught everything.
He's been hanging around still. He's just not very active.
Not very active. Yeah, I know.
So, sorry, when you say things like 3-minute and 15-minute channel, are you saying that it's got to stay within a range for 15 minutes and then you're willing?
No.
What do you mean by channel?
I'm going to explain that. What I mean by that is when the first 15 minutes goes by, I go to the 15-minute candle and I create a horizontal channel, and I can do that in TOS. And that horizontal channel has 2 lines and a middle line. And that's the 15-minute opening range. And so, so what happens is, what tends to happen is when price stays usually below that middle line, it tends to be, and it breaks the bottom of that channel, it tends to stay bearish most of the day. But then as it approaches that channel, it can be a target, but it's also an indicator for me to see if price is going to go bullish. Usually when it gets above the middle line and then breaks the top of the channel, it'll stay bullish most of the day.
Right.
So that's what I mean, and I'll be putting some stuff together about that.
Okay, that's cool. Sorry, I was here. I misunderstood.
No, don't be sorry. No, that's what we're here to explain. Plus,
yes,
the more we explain it, Victoria, and the better we learn it. So that's why as moderators we don't mind re-explaining everything, because it helps ingrain what we know even better inside of us.
Absolutely.
Helps us articulate it better.
Thanks, guys.
Couldn't have said it better myself, sir. Awesome.
Well, I learned it from you. I'm just parroting. So to a point.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
So we're
Is that the control bar the lesson that you put in the other day?
About the control bar? No,
Yeah.
that was different.
Yeah,
But I did learn that from Jeremy. I just put it in writing.
love those control bars.
Oh, they're great. They work.
Oh, absolutely.
You can, and like if you're in a penny stock and you're trading, and the price, you're waiting for price to go back up, you just take that descending channel and you just mark out every one of those big red bars, and that's your ladder,
All right, so
and it will hit them.
Update, I'm in nothing but long puts on both American Airlines and Ford. I was able to leg out of my positions. So far, net profit on the American Airlines position is positive 30%, and Ford position currently 152%, if you want to get technical.
Sure. I have a question, Jeremy.
Sure.
At what point would you leg out of one or the other legs when it passes it?
So as soon as the support was genuinely broken on Ford, I was already out of the call positions on that spike up anyway. But as soon as it broke this leg here, I knew I could just stay long on the puts and ride this momentum down, because there's still a measured move to be had here. See, that's where that VWAP bend is, right up here at 1260. That's the first leg in this measured move. So we can expect at least a 30-cent drop from this 1230 pivot. So that takes us straight to $12. And if I see it reverse before then, I'll certainly close that position and take my profit. But it's got very high potential to hit $12 even in this current trend. So I'll stay long on the puts and just ride them.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, I guess,
Get out of
where
the call.
you got rid of the long call.
Right. Yeah, right on that open, dude. I was done with that as soon as it topped into pre-market range there, right there.
And
Like, can
I
you
waited
tell
too long.
basically on the loss on the call? Like, you look at it, like if I'm on my phone and I'm at work
Yeah.
and I see that that's completely negative and wiped out, I can just close it and let the puts run.
Correct. And that's
Right.
the whole idea
But-
is
but that-
if you can leg out of it, cool. If not, I mean, we've got 1250 puts on board, so I mean, we're in the money considerably. So the idea is, even if you still had your calls open, you could close this position for a net profit that's still pretty sizable. All right.
Oh, okay.
There's a touch on your 15-minute channel there. Your 15-minute descending channel on a 3-day chart there, Stone. I run that line all the way back. That's the white line there. Runs back to the 20th. You might have your mic turned off again.
I do, because I had to go let the wolf out.
But I'm thinking we might hit the purple wolf today on SPY. We might get down to that 366, 365 area pretty quick here, the way things are looking. And that's just going to take everything with it. So Ford and American Airlines are just going to continue to bleed. And like I said, if I see a reversal, I'll take my profit, and it's quite a profit. So I'm not going to complain either way.
Well, we are doing good right now.
Heck yes.
I didn't cut the call, so bud. I didn't cut my call quick enough, and I should have. So I'm expecting my put actually to make up for it.
Oh, it should be more than making up for it right now.
Oh yeah, it will.
Absolutely. Here comes a pause candle on SPY. Keep an eye on this 1-minute chart here. Yeah, hopefully that gives us a nice thin wick, touching just under that control bar to the left there, that 368.55-ish.
I see that.
Control bars matter even on a 1-minute chart, even on a
They do
10-second
that.
chart.
Yes, they do. They matter. They make a difference.
My dog just caught himself a sky raisin.
Uh-oh, it's a sky raisin.
We've had this housefly buzzing around the house for a couple of days now. And
He caught it.
he finally got it. He's been trying and trying. Ordinarily, we just swat the damn fly, but it was one of them. And it's amusing to watch him try to catch it, because I've seen a 160-pound dog jump in the air to grab a fly. It's an impressive sight.
I'm on Discord and another on my Mac today, and I'm like, I wonder if I can get in there and put this picture up.
Dude, you can share your screen in this if you want. Go for it.
Oh no. I'm on a different computer, so any screen I share won't have my charts on it.
Gotcha.
Um, I'm looking at going back to that July or June 17th 2 hour chart. There's a big no, it's almost a real Tootsie Roll, but there's a red bar there with wick up top, longer up top than it is on the bottom. The
Right.
price is about in that range right now. That was that area I had been looking at for days to catch those falls and everything and those levels that I had marked out.
Right.
Now, some people will say, well, once price breaks that, it goes past that and comes up and down or whatever. It invalidates those levels. I don't see that. I
No,
don't see that at all.
those levels are still valid.
I do not see that levels to the left being invalidated by current levels.
I draw my
All I
lines.
see is that they still respect them.
Right. I draw my lines for days and days. Any angular lines I put on, I just keep extending them until they don't work anymore. That's the way
Like
to
when
do
you
it.
see price go sideways, I stick a price line underneath where everything's hitting, because usually if it's going sideways, it's not going below a certain spot.
Right.
So I'll stick a price line on that, click it, and then hit extend to the left, and I'll go find out where it is.
There you
That's the cool thing that you can do with charting software.
go. Keep an eye on forward here. We just closed a bar through the 1 minute 8 period. Let me verify this. That can
You see, and
do-
I like how. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
that can bring us a 5 minute morning star, so keep a close eye on that. Hopefully that's just a pause and a breakdown. SPY did give us that long wick right up to that control bar beautifully.
And that
Rejected
right
the
to
8
the
period.
8, too.
Then we printed a doji. It started threatening a bar spinner bar here for a breakout, and now we're trending just on top of the 8 period. So if we close this as a push through that 20 period, it's time to get out of most of your short positions on SPY. Otherwise, if it continues to trend down, we've got a descending channel, and this is only the second leg. I'll mark that channel out about where I think it'll be.
Okay, where are we now? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we're coming up to 10 o'clock here.
Yeah.
So is this going to be a pause? What is this going to be? Now, sometimes I keep that 15 on there.
Mhm.
Sometimes it'll wick into the 15 and come back down.
Yep. That's what we're looking at too. And I got the 20 on there, and the same reason.
Yeah.
But I know that if it doesn't make it to the 20 and closes a wick, it's likely going to reject before it hits the 20.
Yeah, I got the 8, 15, and the 20 is what I use. That's that, and I say it again. It's really more like a Williams alligator than anything, because the Williams
Right.
alligator the colors have to match when it's bullish, and the colors match when it's bearish. They invert.
Right.
So mine, I have that way.
All right. Forward, we did close a red hammer on the 8 period here. We're expecting a push to the 20 period. If you wanted to take profit on your puts here, you probably could. Or if you're still holding those long calls, you can probably, if this ends up being a pause and a rejection by the 20 period, you can close your calls on that pop for a little less loss. And then
SPY looks like it's below the 8 right now.
and then hang on to your puts until this trend decides to either break here or continue to run.
Got to break that low.
Yeah, I think
That red candle.
my 1 minute channel on SPY here is pretty accurate. That is the second leg. We usually expect 3 legs to touch angular resistance before they break on a descending channel. So far so good. Keep an eye on those 1 minute candles.
Its body's in the 8.
There we go. Forward rolling right with it. Nice.
Let's see where we got. Oh, I need to go hit that. I can't see my VIX. I keep the VIX futures.
So you guys can see the magic happening on these strangles, and how easy it is to trade these even as a beginner options trader. That is the whole point, is seeing this volatility, knowing it's coming, and knowing how to almost eliminate your risk in this position.
And the legging in is the key. It's like,
Yes.
like Victoria was asking earlier, and she was clarifying, what she was hearing, and what she was hearing was right, is that, when we get to the top of a channel, we get, you look for those peaks and valleys. And if you're gonna strangle it, you get the price at the top. That's when you buy your put, and when it goes to the bottom, that's when you buy your call.
Yes, sir.
And so and we're going to continue to develop all this teachings that we're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm just so excited about what we have right now. I really am.
Me too.
And
And
I can't praise Jeremy. He'll get off afterwards and call me a Ferengi and all this bad Star Trek names. But
insult
he's
me
really
more.
glad- He's just really glad to have him as a lead in this.
And what's
I
cool?
I would, if I ran a business, I said I would hire you any day.
What's cool for me is I could teach these simple strategies and then adapt them to any market condition. You know, I mean, if it's flat, I can show you how to run buy rights and stuff where you can just profit on time. If it's bullish or bearish, we can run these strangles, we can run condors. There's pretty stable strategies to be able to ride volatility in any direction. And then there's also strategies to ride flat for days and days and days.
18. Yep, 367.18.
All right, looks like AAL is putting up a pause candle here too, but it's still trending under that 8 period. I want to watch a couple more of these 1 minute candles.
66.01.
Ford seems to be breaking over. I think we will attack that $12 bill today. And
That's nice because I have a $12 put.
yeah, I've got the 12.50 puts, and they're just killing it.
I got rid of the call.
Nice.
And
SPY's threatening the third leg now, but pay attention. Let's draw our middle line, by the way. Don't forget the middle line.
don't forget the middle line. Don't. And I'm going to do some stuff on that too. In TOS, we have that regression channel. It helps if you use it sometimes to learn how to draw your lines, but it'll do it quick for you with the middle line.
Right.
I've never used an Andrews pitchfork, so I should experiment.
No, but we can draw them.
Those are indicators. Yeah, we do. Yeah. I know. It was Creed that pointed that out. Ooh, that's just an Andrews pitchfork. And I'm like, oh, yeah. All right, 367.48 coming at a $half mark.
And it's cool being able to draw your own because then you understand how it works. It's
absolutely.
It's like when you build engines for 20 years straight, you learn a lot about how they work. Same thing with options. Yeah. When you build them,
all right, look out
draw
for
your lines, draw your trend lines and stuff, price action, it all works. All right, that is a third touch on that angular resistance, even though it never made it to the bottom line. We're touching off that center line, so it can reverse here. And check this out. We're threatening a tweezer bottom with Ford, and we're putting a bar across the 8 period here on American Airlines. Watch this 1 minute chart over here for SPY. Any movement outside of this channel, almost always expect a 50% retracement. So we could see 368.50 for a quick push unless it rejects right there like it is now. So it's not the time to panic and go close your short positions here. It's a time to watch closely at what the market's doing. It's going to tell you what you need to do when you need to do it.
So just to let you guys know, I funded my Interactive Brokers today.
Sweet.
And hopefully I'm going to be able to start strangles and stuff with you guys next week.
Very cool.
Freaking awesome.
Heck yeah. And welcome, Ricardo. I think it's have I heard you speak before?
Ricardo's been around a while,
that's right.
man.
I think I've spoken before. Okay.
It is. Ricardo's been around a little while. How long you been with us, Ricardo? 6 months?
No, I've been here for, I'm going to say a few months. I just been in the background, just watching and following everything.
You're in Canada, right?
Correct.
All right.
All right. American Airlines, nice inverted hammer. Pay attention here. This can go one more leg down. I'd love to see that hit $12 today. That would make my day. That's where my put is. I got a $12 put.
That's where mine is too. I want to see it hit that too.
Actually, I got a lot of $12 puts.
I want 366. By the way.
Nice. We'll get there.
That worked. I just didn't get in at the right spot, but I think we're going to be okay with that today.
So far, we're respecting this channel
properly.
Pretty well. It's the moment that it doesn't.
I should have taken my. Go ahead.
It's the moment that it doesn't when you start to go and say, okay, I can close all my short positions and wait for that pullback, and then we can leg back in later on a channel if we see it.
Invert it. Hammer on the 1.
I see that little morning star action here. And there is a pivot right here at about 367.75.
I think I can open Discord here and do this without getting in on voice.
Also, it doesn't
I'll
echo.
Take a picture of my no.
Oh,
'cause I wanna
screenshotting
take a
it.
picture of what I'm saying. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You'll understand. I've
All
got
right.
this. All right. See it come up past that 8. See, I got the 15. It's wicking into.
Closing my AAL net 50% profit. And I think I'm going to see. Well, wait a minute. I might not need to. Hang on. Give us a 1-minute tweezer, Spy. I would love to see a 1-minute tweezer here. We did put a hammer down on the 5-minute chart right on that angular support from that 15-minute descending channel. But that could be a quick little fake and drop. Let's see what happens at this next 1-minute candle.
There it is. That's the 2-hour chart
Nice.
that I was talking about. And you'll see to the left where I have all those lines I'm drawing. That's the clump. That's the structure we're in right now. Now you don't see the low, and the low it says 362.17 there. But
Nice.
that is the structure we're in.
All right, running 182% profit on my forward puts. I'm going to give this a second to see if this gives us an evening star. Same with SPY. If it gives us the bar spinner bar setup, then I am outie. That's looking a lot like a bar spinner bar now.
Let's go check the half-hour chart.
And likely this will be a pullback in this trend here, but that's saying take my profit. I am done. Come on.
Let's see.
It's giving us a mixed bag here, but it broke that channel, so we're likely.
What's your 10-second
Oh,
chart?
dude, you
looking
know
like?
what? We just about wicked into a 50% retracement with that inverted hammer right there. How about that?
Really?
Channel size. Yep. Let me throw down a mark here.
Oh, of that small red channel right there. Well, now look,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back to that. We are on a megaphone. You know what? My megaphone's drawn for me.
There you go.
I cheat. I use that auto support resistance, and it's accurate. And it gives me pivots too. I actually like that better than the zigzag.
Yeah, I'm going to run my
Zigzag's
profit.
great for training wheels, but it's not good for everything.
All right, Ford closed, and American Airlines is next. I'm going to watch one more candle here. I think the 8 period is about to cross above the 20 period here and start reversing probably back to about 1232, 1233, and we might be able to leg into some action on a channel later on.
And I'm rocking 140% on my Ford put.
Nice work, sir. Very,
Well,
very
yeah.
good day.
Well, that's good. It is good. Yes, it is good. I'm just going to hang on a second, though.
Nice work.
Well, we're learning this. The options thing is a challenge. It's very enticing.
Yes.
But it's also getting it together. And I mean, this week has been great with Victoria and Paul and but everybody asking these questions about options. And I told you, wow, why didn't I ask you those questions?
Right?
I was asking about the price direction more than anything. But when you put the two together,
Yes. When we get those questions, man, all that does is help everybody and us.
yeah, it helps us
Please.
too. Because now I gotta articulate what I know. I
Exactly.
have to put it in a understandable manner. Okay.
Question, guys. Is there any videos or anything on bullish bears and in the libraries or courses regarding strangles or anything like that?
We're kind of building them as we speak because they end up in our live stream recordings on YouTube, so you can go watch them on YouTube. What I would
Yes.
like to do is put together a strategy video on it if I can.
Yeah. We have some that Sig's put together.
Oh yeah.
we do have some on options that Sig's put together. Like he does a day trading options one where you go directionally, and it gives you some basic information. Now I'm sure he has some more in the strangles and everything, and the iron condors and such that he does. But we're also working together, like Jeremy said, to we want to add enhance some of those things
Right.
so that there's a little more information and a little bit not that there's not good information in those things. There is. I don't want you to get me wrong on that, but we just want to be able to enhance it so that it's a little bit easier to find and also a little bit more concise. I'm an ABC 123 guy.
Right.
Gotcha. I'll be looking out for those.
Yeah.
We're working on them.
We'll get them out.
I was just telling. As a matter of fact, Casper messaged me this morning. I was just saying, how, and I told the guys yesterday, I'm really liking OBS as far as the simplicity of editing goes, because for this type of stuff, you could probably, I could do an outline and have 3 bullet points and put together a quick video.
Oh yeah. OBS is
All right,
awesome.
coming back to that top of that little clump of candles to the left, that little descending channel.
So now we're going into the 66% retracement right here.
Mm-hmm.
And 73.6 ends up right on that key pivot here at 369. So we'll see what happens here. We can get a quick reversal. Closed all my short positions, all my put positions on AAL and forward for the time being. And if we see a nice range shake out of this, we can certainly leg right back into those to hold them over the weekend. Just be aware that the time decay on American Airlines is a little more rapid than Ford is. So if your Friday expiration for next week, it'll be a little bit more of a draw because that time decay works on the weekends too. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Stone, for the control bars when you're setting them up right now, can you also use a large green candle, or because when you gave the example, I think you set it up on a red.
I set it up on mostly the red because it was coming down, and so those were the candles I was going to go back to.
Okay.
But you can use the green ones too. The big when I look for the green ones, they work too, and so do their wicks. That was just kind of a quick lesson on
Okay.
how to do it. But you can find them just like when you want to get your ladders going down. If price has been coming up, then you're going to have green bars coming up, and if it's going down, then you can use those green bars on the way down to find your short positions.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. More than welcome.
Absolutely welcome.
And I'm just, like I said, I learned that from Jeremy, riding shotgun with Jeremy. And it's like, oh, okay. So it's not like it's something I put together, but it's very good for finding, like I said, if you're trading like in penny stocks, especially you're trading, and it works in all the charts, but in penny stocks, sometimes that stuff's moving so fast. You got to find price targets quick.
Oh, yeah.
And, and boom, like, we have a descending channel on SPY right now. And if you go back and look, we've walked up all of those red bars. We've walked them back up, the red bars that formed on a 1-minute chart I'm looking at right now since 957. So, we hit that low at 1004, and then it's walked back every red bar, even the green ones.
Dang, dude, we're going to head for $12 on AAL. Here she goes.
Yeah, you see now, also, I can do this too. Now that I got Discord up and the other one, I can show you this. It's a little bit dark because I have some other indicators on here that I got from SIG that work really well for open, for ranges.
All right. Once again, I got kidneys floating in a sea of coffee. I'll be right back, guys.
Ah, wonderful. All right. And so this is, if you're looking in chat, okay, we crossed that. We got to get out of this. Hang on a second. Where's my Weeble? You can see that channel I put in there in chat. It's very faint. You'll see that 15-minute opening range. Those are 5-minute candles, and you'll see that 15-minute opening range that I have horizontally with the dotted line. And that's what I was talking about, opening range. You see it's staying right now below the bottom of that range. It wicked into it, gave us a quick little thought of, hey, we might be going back up, but let's see. Also wicked into the 15. Some people don't like to sit here and watch all this stuff all day long. They want to. I don't mind it. I prefer babysitting my money.
I've learned to just watch the charts as well.
Yeah. Sometimes you just sit here and watch it, but plotting it out. Now, the key is if you listen to Jeremy, listen to him and watch him. He is constantly moving. He's like a good running back, if pardon the American football expression. He keeps his legs moving, and you'll listen to him, and he's constantly, okay, we're going here, we're going there. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. And getting to that point, that's a good goal, to where you're constantly looking but plotting at the same time. Okay, let me go over here, because that helps you get the sentiment and the direction, and know, like, if you're in a position to get the heck out.
That's the fun part, isn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely.
It definitely gets exciting. I mean,
it gets exciting. And I told Jeremy yesterday, I said, it's like you don't want to lose. You don't want to take lessons about losing weight from a fat guy.
No.
Right? You don't want to listen to a fat guy tell you how to lose weight. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. And I got a story about being in the convenience store and this big heavy set guy with 2 hot dogs covered in chili and cheese and all kind of stuff and chips and a big drink telling the clerk how to lose weight. And I thought to myself, that's a life lesson right there. I want to learn how to lose weight from the skinny guy that used to be fat. You know what I mean? That's who I want to learn weight. Well, in the stock world, that's Jeremy. He's the guy that has done this and taken it from part-time to now it's his full-time job, and he's sustaining his family with 4 kids on it. That's where I want to go, and that's the guy I want to listen to. So, pardon me, Jeremy, for pumping you up a little bit, but that's one of the reasons I like Bullish Bears, is that Sig too. Sig's got fruit. We all have fruit. I have fruit now, but it's great when you learn from the people that have what I call fruit. They have succeeded, they have done it, they've conquered, and now they can teach it.
Exactly. Right. Life-changing events that are literally paid forward. That's what you got here. So that's all I can say about it.
Yeah. And I put that channel up so folks could see it in chat, what I was talking about.
Right.
You can also see the market maker low, telling you the market maker low, which is around 366.50.
I see in the channel.
Man,
I got a lot of lines on there, so
I wish I didn't have to run to the restroom. I would have been able to leg back into both those Ford and American Airlines positions.
I held it. I didn't. I waited to see before. I was looking at that channel when it wicked into that lower channel, and it wicked into the 15, which is my imitation of the 21 bar moving average that Al Brooks used, and it gave me that hanging fruit. I was like, oh, I better stay here for a second.
Nice.
When you say wicked in, how is that different from legged in?
Oh no, it wicked it. It wicked it. It's different.
That's price action.
Oh,
yeah, this is price. Yeah, it's the candle wicked the.
Hey Jeremy, it found a resistance and then went back up. Is that why you would have?
Yeah, I was kicking myself. Like I would have legged into that back again, and then held a net positive position through the weekend on American Airlines right there. Ford, kind of the same. That green bar, I should have went and bought some more puts on that end, and then start filling calls right now. Looking at the small account thing, and that's I wanted to kind of touch on that. So, if you're opening an account like $50-$60, you can do these very easily and grow that account very rapidly. If you were to look at per position, like I mean, I entered many numbers of these positions to hold overnight, but American Airlines, if you would have had one Condor on American Airlines yesterday that I set up and one Strangle on Ford yesterday, your outlay would have been about $60 for an overnight hold, and that's it. And that would have probably, you know, if all you had in your account was $60, I mean, you would have closed that, just doing the math, probably a little over $100. That's pretty damn good. I mean, making a little over $40 on a $60 investment, not bad. That's really good.
Yeah, I can see how these are working now.
Oh yeah, and
So,
that's how you can take
Sorry.
a small account and make it big. It just trade the chart. Don't focus on the P&L so much. Just trade the chart, and dude, before you know it, that account will be like in numbers you never would have imagined, having started at like $100.
so like
speaking
right now, you can't do a Condor because it's too up or down
Right.
or too volatile. But you still could feasibly do a Strangle once it finds another bottom,
Right.
and then you would put your top at 1220-ish.
Talking about American Airlines.
Oh, I was looking at Ford, but yeah, I mean
Yeah,
either one.
either one.
So you would look for your bottom when it would start to go back up. You'd put in your call,
Right.
and then you would also put in your put at the prior resistance of 1224.
Oh no, it's right there.
Correct. So you would have been able to lag, and it would probably have lagged between the two contracts per set. It would probably be about a $4 cash cushion between the two, just based on eyeballing it.
I don't know what that means, but so basically, if I want to set one right now and it's starting to show a green candle, maybe I could put a call in now at 1205 maybe or 1206, and then put a put at 1221 or whatever that was.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't
On
give you
Ford.
much cushion there. It would have been better to do it back here at about
Double
10:05
bottom on a 10-second chart.
time on the timeline, not price line. 10:05 would have been a great call entry, and then run that put probably at about 10:07 if you're looking at 1 minute candles there. That's where it would have given you a couple bucks between the two strikes.
Okay, so
Oh, because it did a little consolidation right there.
Right. That little consolidation would have been able to leg back into it. And I was I was in the bathroom, so I didn't get a chance to do it. So I'm cool. I'm flat right now, and I couldn't be happier. Even though these are continuing to crush down, that's not a problem. As soon as it sets up a range later in the day, I'll just walk back into it for a weekend hold.
So if it straightens out right now until 10:30 or a little bit before, you could then do, I don't know, like a 1205 and then like a 1211 or something like that, 1210.
Somewhere depending on how wide the channel is of consolidation. So, like looking over
Yeah, I was
here,
just trying to get a.
I mean, we had about a 5 cent difference between bottom and top here in this consolidation. Not a whole lot, but it was enough to have legged into it with some cash between the call and the put. All right, so looking at SPY, I'm kind of seeing a setup for a measured move here. If we broke our megaphone pattern, we hit the 15-minute angular support, and if we break this pivot here down at about 367.75, that purple wolf is right in play for a measured move, and that takes us straight to about 365.50.
We're going sideways right now.
Yeah, let her sit
On the
here
1
and
minute.
crank out some sideways motion, and if we do break that support level, that measured move is pretty much set up for the day, or for the morning anyway. All right, let me see if I can get in the bar chart again and find if there's any other equities that we can go for. AMC is still kind of on my radar. We might be able to get some strangles into that if you're brave enough.
AMC is crazy. The people that think it's going to go to the moon are crazier.
Oh, I know it. That's the
I'm so
wrong way
sick
to the
of
moon,
that.
sir.
It's not working, fam. It's not working.
No. No bueno.
No bueno. No bueno.
Bar chart.
All right, what you gonna do there? You're getting a little bit of sideways. You got to hit that level there. That level there. Yeah, we're staying in a little range right now that I got from that 2-hour chart. I'll be dadgum.
All right, options volume leaders. This is delayed on bar chart, by the way, but let me get into. Come on, go. There we go.
Yeah, once I get past this weekend, I should be able to start working on maybe putting together a couple of videos.
Oh, hey, FCX is starting to become in range, and so is Micron. But, FCX is kind of an interesting one. I don't know if you guys are up on metals, but copper is kind of setting up a squeeze. Let me get into FCX here.
Can we trade on options on copper?
There's an ETF for copper. I can't remember the ticker for it, but I can dig it up. Or you can go straight to the miners. The miners are where the copper money is at.
The wheat bars, this thing might be heading back up. Let's see. I'm looking at the 5-minute chart.
Yeah, and the 1-minute chart even shows a nice little head and shoulders there, so we'll probably get a run at least to 368.50. Yeah, everybody's buying that. That's retail chasing that right there. Guaranteed. Every time someone sees one of those head and shoulders, they go, ooh, reversal, and they run it. Well, the market makers are waiting right there with their sell orders to hose you. So wait and see what happens with that. If it breaks a neckline and starts to trend out, sure, then you confirm it as a reversal. But if you're trying to trade the setup instead of the break, unless you've got limit orders in that range, you're going to get spanked. Never jump in on a setup. Always trade the break. All right, FCX. So copper is kind of going to be in demand very quickly here with the whole onset of EVs. However, current economic conditions doesn't really support much of that. Let me see what's looking like here. Oh gosh. That article was probably just another ploy to get some liquidity. I don't see that that happening. We're still bearish in the mining. Well, at least Freeport McMoran here. McMoran, moron. That's mean.
Oh my God. Used to deliver for those guys. We had big Freeport thing down here.
Oh yeah.
Back when I was a kid, 18 years old, driving a truck around here.
I can see that remaining bearish. That's just my sights on it. That article I read on copper demands might have just been a ploy for liquidity. You'll find a lot of times the talking heads will literally say things that don't make sense. You look at the chart and the chart doesn't lie. The chart will tell you the truth every time. And if they're talking one thing and the chart's telling the other thing, go with the chart. Ignore those talking heads. They're a bunch of Muppets. My dark definition of Muppet is someone who needs a hand up their hoo-ha to control their every move. That's a Muppet. Not to be graphic, but you get the idea.
Muppet. Oh, we got a double bottom there. 1, 2. Look out. Yeah.
Talking of Muppets, what time are we expecting this Fed announcement?
I love that.
2.
Thank you. That made my day. Proper use of the word Muppet is very welcome here.
And just confirm again, guys, you're on Eastern time and it's 10:29, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. What's another word I used to use this a lot. It drove my wife nuts. It's an English word. See, I watched a lot of Top Gear and then Grand Tour when following James May and
Good man.
good old Jeremy Clarkson, and
I watched the goodies.
awesome show. And I remember one day he was like calling everybody a yabo. I was like, I like that word. It's funny. Don't be a yabo. And yeah, so we can call them yabos. The yabos that talk and flap their gums and chip their teeth, or the Muppets, whichever you like.
Chip their teeth. Now you sound like Sig. Well, he's
Right.
gonna be chipping their teeth.
Got to combine that. We got to combine our slang. That's it, and it just makes for a broader vocabulary. All right.
Sig, enjoy your class, man. I hope they enjoy you. I've been called the grouch before. I was like, what? Well, I still got a little cough.
Yeah. All right.
Getting better.
Let's see what happens here. Look at SPY. We got a 1 minute tweezer just on top of that little inverse head and shoulders.
Right under the VWAP.
And let's see what happens with this forward candle right here after that
It's also
inverted
a
hammer.
pivot.
Yes.
Are we setting up for forward, yeah?
I think I got one more chance to leg into it. So I might start adding puts on this break once it rolls over.
When you say rolls over, you mean it's going up, and
Right.
once it reaches it pivots at its peak of the going up. That means roll over, yeah.
Right. That's where I want to be
And
interested.
that's a
in puts.
good time to buy a long put.
I think so. Just wait and see what happens when it breaks over.
Okay.
That's where we can get into some range.
Right. You want to wait because it could break and then it could reject.
Right.
We're doing this for September the 30th options on forward, aren't we?
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
And if you wanted to go out to the following week, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay,
and,
there's an earnings thing on October the 7th, though.
Yes. Those are.
Oh no, sorry, it's
expensive.
October the 14th. So we're good for October the 7th, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We can run those, or we can run the 30th, whichever's more
2 minutes.
economical, or whichever one works for you. Just note that the
Yeah.
ones that expire on the 30th will have a little bit
Let's get
higher
out.
time decay than the ones that expire on the 7th.
I haven't done time decay yet. I'm learning that. Hold on.
That's that theta. And that number is just a decimal, so just count it as pennies.
Right. Right now, I'm just concentrating on the price of the trades because I've got a
Right.
smaller account, so I'll go with the cheaper one.
So $12 30th expiration puts theta is 0.0236238, somewhere in that neighborhood. So a little over 2 pennies a day of time decay in those, right? Whereas the same put over on the October 7th is 0.017, so 1.7 pennies per day. That's the difference in time decay. So even in a neutral position like that, time decay has an effect on it. So
Theta is time decay, isn't it?
it is, and then
Yeah.
the idea is once you get a handle on how all the options move and how to trade them long, then the next natural step is learning how to trade them short, and that's where things really get fun. All right, so
It blasted.
let me see what the calls look like here. Yeah. we
Sorry,
can
just
do
to
that.
confirm, I'm buying a put now if it goes any higher, isn't it?
Yep, I think it just broke over. Watch that 8 period real quick, and if it breaks that 8 period, we know it's going to come back down.
Okay. It's an 8 period.
The 8 period moving average on the 1 minute chart.
Right, okay,
He-
sorry. Thank you. I got
He
it.
uses SMA. You use a simple moving average for the 8,
Yes.
and I use an exponential, and it's basically almost the same.
Okay, thanks, guys. Sorry, I should have known it was a line.
Oh, quite
That's
right.
okay. Dang it! I should have stayed in that thing. Oh well. I caught my put.
There you go.
I made a profit.
All right, so I went ahead and got the
100%.
7th expiration puts, and then I'll run into the calls if I see it hit the bottom and bounce.
I'm just longing a put at this point, aren't I?
Yep, that's what we're looking at. And if we see it bounce off that 1205 again, then we can grab calls there. But if it pushes through that 1205, we just ride these puts until there's an even bigger cushion. And since we're buying a $12 put long, that's right at the money. If it breaks $12, that put will start to go into intrinsic value, and it'll really start to ramp up. So let's keep an eye on this trend. And worst case scenario, if it threatens to bounce up, you can be in a fairly flat neutral position, meaning there's no cash cushion between the legs. Just grab the calls. But looking at that 5-minute tweezer on SPY, I think we're bearish for the moment, so we can probably ride some momentum here.
Sorry, I'm just setting up my one side at the moment. I'm concentrating on that. So I'm just buying a put at 12, and I'm waiting for it to roll over now, aren't I, on that line?
Right, yeah, you want to see it come down a little bit further so you can build some cushion between the puts and the calls. And another thing for those of you who are looking at 30th expiration, if this does break $12 and you bought that $12 put long, and at the same time you buy the call, you can basically cap this position by going and selling the 1150 put against the $12 put to lock in the position there for a profit very similar to how you would do it when you buy a call long. And the idea is you never want to sell the short put for less than 50% the value of the long put. So like if you're looking at that 30th expiration, currently it's at 31, but if you entered it at 28 just on that break right there, you would want to see, at least a $14 ability to sell that 1150 put, which it's at right now. That essentially does very similar things to buying a call, but this turns into a condor later if you end up buying calls. So then you can buy your long calls if it bounces off the bottom, and do the same thing to sell the short calls at the top. So then you lock in a profit cushion between two debit spreads and the profit between the width of the spreads between, or the difference between the long and call and put. And you ride a condor through the weekend, and what that does is it eliminates a lot of your time decay. So you can hold over the weekend without losing much time.
Okay, so it's dropped slightly. Is now a good time to buy it because we've got a bit more of a cushion?
I would probably give it another minute or so here because I'm looking at a nice tweezer top on SPY in a key spot.
Just a quick clarification, right? Okay, we're buying this, which is the sort of top of our channel, but we want it to be as low as possible, don't we? So we want the price. We want the. How am I saying? We want the strike price to be as low as possible. So and consequently, for the bottom of the channel, we want the price. We want the strike price to be slightly higher or lower.
For the strike or the premium on the strike.
Well, we want the premium to be as low as possible, don't we?
Right. We want the premium to be as low as possible.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused. Yeah, what we're doing is we're expecting the premium to drop, not the strike price, isn't it?
Right.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Strike price will stay the same. So.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm clarifying it with myself now because I'm trying to get into the details of this. Yeah. So the strike price is strike is 12, but we're expecting the premium on it to drop, aren't we?
We're expecting that premium, if it bounces here, that premium will drop. But right now, if you bought it at, say, 45 cents, it's at 46 cents now. Let's say it goes to 48 cents and price starts to bounce there. You can then go and probably grab that 1250 call for probably about 30 cents, and you would have about a $5 cushion between the call and the put.
I see. So when you say the cushion's in the premium, not in the strike price.
Correct. Yeah,
Right.
The cushion is having a net profitable position, so that if you were to day trade it and close it as a whole, you would still capture that total profit between the two.
I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So you want the premium to drop on both the put and the call, really, because that would be a cushion.
Right, in the channel. So like
In the channel, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so while price is at its highest before it breaks over, you buy the put, and while price is at its lowest before it bounces back, you buy the call.
Yeah, so hopefully now the price of the premium will drop, and we can buy in when it does, because it's 46 at the moment. And so you're looking at October the 7th as well, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking that's going to be the way to go, because then that'll give me the opportunity to add short legs to this if it ranges later. I can go and carry a condor over the weekend and have a net profit position over the weekend that doesn't have much effect from time decay.
Okay.
And then for those of you who are trading just the strangles, being at the 7th expiration is actually going to give you a lot less time decay than the 30th. So
If we set up the strangle here now, when I buy the call at the bottom of the channel, can we leave that over the weekend, or do we have to be proactive here?
we can leave that over the weekend. And if by chance if Ford just takes a rocketing bearish move towards the end of the day, just day trade it.
What's going on?
If you've got the day
Okay,
trades
so-
available, do it.
So you mean sell one leg and leave the other one run and then capture profit, yeah?
Right.
Right.
And then because it's okay to not have a position in this over the weekend if it's
Okay.
profitable enough. So like if you have a chance to make anything more than 100% profit on this position before the day closes today, do it.
Close it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, don't forget to take profit. So
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
But
big,
if it's only a couple bucks or something, you can live with that because time decay will lose some of that for you over the weekend anyway. But if let's say Monday opens up and it's the bloodiest day on the market in history, I mean that can really pay you. So,
that's a good thing, yeah.
if it doesn't rally to the bearish side, so to speak, before the day closes today, you can certainly hold that over the weekend, and that cash cushion is going to offset a bunch of that time decay for you.
Right, I'm with you.
And if you're more advanced, if you're in level 3 options, you can always add short legs to this too and carry it as a condor over the weekend and then leg back out of the short legs next
Yeah.
week.
I'm just trying to understand the cushions with this trade. Like yesterday, I was just trying to set up a trade. I'm trying to do it a little bit more advanced with the cushions, so I'm trying to understand those at the moment. But I get what you're saying. The premium's going up and down. I'm just keeping an eye on it.
Right. So now, oh wow, look at that bearish candle. Haha. So that $12 put that we bought at 45 is now 50. And the call side, that $33 for the 12.50 call is now 32, and probably will be
So
more like 30.
Would it be a good time to buy the call now instead?
Not yet. That was some serious volatility. Something
Okay.
happened.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's see if I can find any news on that.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Before I go, so I have my Webull all set up. I've been doing it the past many minutes. It's on my phone.
Awesome.
I had to pay $2.99 a month for real-time data, but so for this Ford, obviously now's a bad time because of that bearish candle, but I'm trying to set up a strangle on it or figure out how, and it's only giving me a specified spread.
Right. So you don't want to buy the whole strangle at the same time. You would rather leg into this. Just buy a long option, and then when you see the price channel swinging, buy the other option. So you can buy them one at a time, and then you can later on sell them one at a time too.
Oh, okay. And can you sell them both at once, obviously?
You can, absolutely. Yeah, you can
Might
go.
have a tweezer bottom coming here, by the way.
It's kind of looking like it might, so I'm going to see if I can get that call real quick before I get locked out of that. But let's see if the momentum on SPY starts to tip over here, because we're about to fail that pivot here.
Did you see what I just put up? Did you see how all that price is? I put a little shadow box there. You can see where price is just hovering right above it or wicking right into that area.
I see that.
I haven't gone left to see what that area is. Actually, it's pretty much what I've been talking about. That candle all the way back where the low of 362.17 is on the 17th 2-hour chart, 9 a.m. candle on 17th of June. That's pretty much where we are right now.
Okay. So we
So,
could crack
If
this
it
level.
breaks that level, if it cracks that level,
Hey,
it
Jeremy,
could be that
sorry.
we're going sideways till Powell speaks.
That's very true.
I'm going to go.
You gonna take off?
Yeah. Real quick though, I won't be able. I obviously can't do anything right now. But I'm gonna have my phone with me at work.
Okay.
So if you find one towards midday, like an AMC or whatever, um, you know, or anything, shout it out so I can get an option in before the end of the day. Because I put $100 in the account. I don't care if I lose it or not. So
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. If I see any opportunities, I always try to call them out.
Be
And then
careful, bud.
be careful today. And if it's a big one, I'll tag it with at here so everybody's alerted, and that way everybody gets attention on it. All right.
yeah, I would have if I wasn't going out for a run before work. I would have bought the $12 call right now
Right.
and then waited, and then legged in on the put when it curled back around.
Right.
I'm getting it. I'm getting the hang of it.
You
That
sure are.
the 1250 call hasn't moved
Fast.
much.
That's that FBI mind he's got.
There you go.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, I would love to have a range day with you one day, man. Just go shoot pistols. I love that.
That would be fun.
I have a friend down the street who's retired FBI, and he's actually impressed with my pistol ability.
Oh, that's good.
Well, before this, I was an ATF special agent. Before that, I was a Border Patrol agent. So I've been through a total of 4 police academies and firearms programs.
Nice.
Well, and now you're
Yeah.
now you're
Um,
at the
but
at the
I'll see you guys
spot
later. I'm
you
glad
wanna
I'm
be.
finally making some headway, and now I feel pretty confident with the strangle is going to really help me along and prevent a lot of risk and give me a
Absolutely.
lot of money.
That's what it's designed for, is to prevent
That's
that
what it's
risk,
designed for. Yeah,
and it gives you that opportunity to make a lot of money.
awesome.
All this
Wow.
talk about pistols, just spare a thought of us in the UK who can't even get a gun license.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's
Yeah. Well,
It
you know,
sucks. It sucks.
over here in the U.S. There's a gun and 1,000,000 rounds of ammo behind every blade of grass. That's
that
what the
sucks.
that's how the
My friend
Chinese have
is-
come to know us.
My friend lives in Texas, and I had the best time in Texas
Oh
just shooting.
yes.
And
I bet you do.
I loved it.
Well, the last time I shot in the range was in Texas, as a matter of fact. I think it was the only time I ever shot in the range. We used to go out in the swamp.
Yep. Out in the swamp, pop some rounds off.
Yeah, we were shooting pigs on his land because he had a hog problem. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
know, we have hog problems here too. You don't even have to have a
Yeah.
license in my part of Louisiana because they
Yep.
tear up the levees. So you have,
That's right. Yeah.
Same
and
here.
if you know how to marinate them, they're good eating.
Oh yes, they're delicious.
Well, we eat everything down in Louisiana. If it crawls across the road, you can slap it on the head, put it in the pot, we'll eat it.
Yep.
That's what- this is why I want to move to the States. You see, I like that. Like,
we
All right, look now.
we need to find you either a nice sponsored work visa, or well, if you want to marry, there's plenty of
I'm
bachelors over
working
here.
on it. I'm working on it.
You could go on 90-day fiance.
There you go. Yeah.
I think I've tried better luck with the work visa.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think you do
yes.
better at that. Absolutely.
And better off in the long run. Yes.
Yeah, we got this little weird action going on
I
right now.
see that. We printed a couple of neat dojis on that 8 period on Ford. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more of a light down here. We might. American Airlines is making me FOMO over it because I should have held those puts a little longer. But that's okay. I'm profited on them. I'm good.
It's
And
good stuff. It's great to have everybody in here asking these questions. This is awesome, Jeremy. And
Oh,
you're fielding them so well.
Well, thank you, sir. I love questions.
really is.
I really do. I thrive on them. I enjoy
This
it
is
very
good
much.
stuff, man.
They say if you can explain it to a 5-year-old and the 5-year-old understands, then you really know your subject. And I consider myself a 5-year-old, so thank you, Jeremy.
All right. That's good. Good to know, and that's a good way to put it. I know a lot of people. A lot of people I know actually. They kind of took a model from their childhood of being able to have a knack for playing dumb, even though they're very intelligent people. Playing dumb to be able to absorb more information. So there's
Yeah.
two sides of that coin there. You can go and say, okay, if you can explain it to a 5-year-old and they understand it, you're doing it very well. But also, if you're on the other side of that, if you can play dumb and just absorb everything, even if you think you know the answer, you get more. And it's great because you can go into a situation and be a new guy and then completely play dumb and just pick up on tons and tons of stuff. So you could be like the Columbo in the room.
Let me get this straight. What you're saying is, help me out here.
I just find sometimes I have to ask the same question in different ways so that I can sort of really get an understanding of something. And it might seem like I'm asking the same thing over and over again, but it's just kind of like, can't explain it. Just seeing the same thing from different perspectives, that helps
Right.
me a lot.
Absolutely.
And like I say,
And he doesn't mind
I
it.
don't
Here
mind
goes the
that
break.
at all. Here we go.
It looks like, well, I say here goes
Timber.
the break.
Yeah.
I was looking at the 10-second chart.
Well, I'm looking at the 1 minute and a 5 minute on SPY, and they're both looking pretty damn bearish. Oh boy, come on.
Yeah.
Smoke that
So is
support.
the 30-minute. But I'm waiting for the break.
When does J Powell speak again? 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock market time.
Wowzer. Okay.
And I'm waiting for the break. I don't want to, get in there and
Yeah.
trade the setup. That's, we got to wait for the break.
Yes, sir. And that is kind of another thing I wanted to touch on too, because you can trade the setup. There is a strategy for that. And these
Penny
strangles,
stocks, you need to do it.
yeah. But these strangles, you can trade the setup very effectively because the setup is going to wiggle just enough to leg in for a net profit on a strangle. So that's another
right.
idea.
So when it shot down like that, that would have been a time to go buy a call.
Yep. And
Look at this. Let's
if
see
it
now.
smokes this support level, Ford's going with it.
Well, I'll let that Ford put ride.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended.
Let it
Because
ride.
it's running downhill, so we should be,
Yeah, it burns better downhill.
Ford only runs downhill.
Or as the our friends across the pond would say, it's looking a bit dodgy.
Absolutely.
I do love British humor, so you're fairly
I was
welcome
just
here.
thinking that. You're reading my mind. I grew up on British humor. We used
Oh,
to
yeah.
watch. I used to watch the Monty Pythons, and then they had the Goodies. They had the Faulty Towers, which was absolutely insane.
It's
You
a
know
bit
what?
before my time, but
I know I'm older.
I
Yeah.
can see the humorous side of that. But yeah.
Do you like
And then
Doctor
we had
Who?
Benny Hill. Doctor Who.
No, I'm not a massive fan of Doctor Who. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
I like the old Doctor Who, but he's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. Maybe it was
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
They filmed that in my city, by the way, in Cardiff.
Oh yeah,
No
yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Very
Right
cool.
to that pivot at 367.43.
Yeah, I think we're going down. I was gonna go take a picture of my front door, but now I guess I won't. We painted our front door TARDIS blue, and then we put some 3D printed things on there to make it look like the TARDIS, and it's amazing. my wife and I we have kind of a theme for everything, and although there's a strong HOA in this neighborhood, they haven't said anything negative about my door. In fact, they love it. So, been kind of cool about that.
They've
There's no
like about
liquidity.
Woo!
away from me. They've got the TARDIS set up now for something they're filming.
That's awesome. I'll have to go over there and take some pictures too. Woo! Ford hit that $12 mark almost. Come on, stay bearish. Let's go. Oh man, American Airlines is really making me jealous. I should have kept those puts open.
I
It's
might
okay.
have been playing around with everybody here. Let's see. Slamming it into that pivot and then pulling it back.
Just a quick question then, right? Okay, if I'm waiting now for to buy a put for the price to drop, why can't I buy the call for the 13th?
Yeah, you'd be looking at the call right now for Ford if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, are we looking to what strike price are you looking to buy the call at?
The 1250.
So
Keep this
we're
nice
looking
and
at
tight.
so we're looking to buy the 12 and also buy the 1250 as well, yeah?
Yep. So we're buying a $12 put and also the 1250 call.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, get you.
Let's see here, and that little leg gave us about a $2 cushion there for me anyway. And we'll just let that run through the weekend. And like I said, if it continues to range today, or the range gets bigger, I might be so inclined as to sell short calls against the long call, and then
Have
sell.
you just bought? Have you just bought your strangle now?
Yep, just close the strangle now. So right on that little last hammer there, I bought the call.
Oh, did I miss it?
You still got an opportunity here.
Should I just do do them both? Yeah.
You can. Have you already gotten your put?
No. I can buy a put now at 47.
That might be the way to go, just to do the whole thing.
So should I just buy the put? Yeah.
Yeah, you would want to do the whole thing at this point. Maybe you can leg into it one more time, but watch this candle carefully.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a little fake out just now.
Yep.
Made you think it was dropping down, and then you see that candle closed as a green hammer.
Yep. Quite all right. I'm still net positive on that position, so I can leg it even further. And what's really cool, like I was saying, if this starts to really rip in a big range, let's say we get a dollar range out of Ford today, not likely, but dollar range would be crazy. We've seen it happen on JPOW days. And if for some reason it hit a bottom and bounced back up, I could probably, this is a very rare occasion, sell the short legs for more than I paid for the long legs. And then it's an absolutely cannot lose position because my cost basis would be negative. Very rarely does that happen, but if you get lucky enough to catch a day like that, man, you can really do some fun stuff with these.
Okay, so sorry, I missed that last opportunity. That was my own fault. But I've got it now set up to buy the 12 put and the 12.5 call. So what am I looking at on the chart for me to say, oh yeah, go ahead, send this off? I'm looking for it to drop.
If you want to leg into it, you're looking for it to, well, we were looking for it to go sideways a little bit, and it has for the past 15 minutes or so. So we're okay. If you wanted to close or wanted to open a strangle right there, just as a net strangle, no legging into it, just all at once, that's a good spot to do it.
Okay, I'll do that now then. All right, so I'm buying the 12 call and 12.50. All right, I'm just going to buy this.
And then
$57 altogether.
And then, as I was saying, if this thing rips a face off towards the end of the day, and you start looking at a large net profit in that situation, just take your profit. There's no reason to hold this over the weekend if you don't have to. And anytime you see that kind of profit, dude, just take it. Don't sit there and FOMO it. Just take it.
Yeah. So I should have built a better cushion in that. I understand how the cushions are set up. I'll aim to get a better cushion on my next trade. But yeah, at least I can see now how to set the cushions up. It's almost like I've got to mess up a trade and then I get it right the second time. All right. So.
Well, there's still a chance here. So like if this started to range a bit, where you could see there's clearly a range defined, you're already long in a strangle position, and you're able to add to those. You can actually add those legs one at a time on top of an existing strangle. That's not a problem.
So you're almost extending the legs. Does that make sense?
Not necessarily changing the strike price. So you would be looking for range. So if you see an established range that you know is going to repeat, or you're seeing like an accumulation pattern, sort of like we saw on the 1 minute chart with SPY here, we got this high, this low, this high, this low. That is range that it was established. It was pretty easy to predict. Okay, I can go long on calls here, long on puts there, and have a net positive position. Same thing with Ford. We're accumulating here. We got a low, a high, a low, a high. Essentially, when you see that there's a very good chance that it's going to bounce in a range, you can certainly leg into those. And even if you established a position all at once, where you bought the call and the put at the same time, you can add to those legs all you want on the range. So you can go and actually average your cost per leg down to where you can build a cash cushion even after the fact.
Okay, so how would I do that now? On my say, for example, my put side, I've just gone and bought a put and I've bought a call. So I bought the 12 put at 48.
Mm-hmm.
What could I do then? Could I go and buy it again?
You could, but you would want to make sure price is doing the other thing. So if price is high, buy the put. If price is low, buy the call.
So if the strike price is high, buy the call. If the strike price is low, buy the put.
Not the strike price, the actual
The
share
premium.
price, the share price.
The premium, yeah?
So if the share
Oh,
price,
right, the share price. Ah, right, okay. Oh, we're
Yeah.
going into I don't know. Right, I got you.
so if the share price goes up, the premium on the put will go down, and you want to buy it low. You want to buy the put as cheaply as possible, right? And then if the share price goes down, the premium on the call will go down. So then you can buy the call. The idea is when you're building these legs one at a time, you want to have a little profit between them, so you have a little security against risk, so that there's time decay involved. It'll eat some of that by the weekend being over on Monday, but at the same time, you'll have less risk in the game, because that difference in the two strikes of your premium that you've paid, having a positive position in that, having trapped a profit, so to speak, that profit weighs against your risk as well. So, if you say you close this whole position, or you open this whole position at $50 risk, and you were able to leg into it with $2 or $3 between the two legs, that comes off of your cost basis. So instead of being a $50 risk, it becomes a $48 risk. It's just how you build it. So.
Yeah, but even though I've set up and bought my strangle now, I could still buy.
You can still leg into it.
Yeah, I can still leg into it even after I've bought it.
Right, because you can always add to those legs one at a time.
Okay, all right.
And there's opportunity there.
I might have to ask you all of this again in a minute. I'm just writing it down a second. So basically, if the price of if the share price goes up, then I buy the call again.
No. If the share price goes up, you would buy the put again.
Buy put leg. And if the share price goes down, then you buy the call leg again.
Correct. But you must make sure
367, 617. That was that 367.18 I had earlier. Remember, it had to get to.
Yeah, there it is. 367.17 to the penny.
But I must make sure. Sorry, Jeremy. Yeah.
Oh, no worries. So the critical thing to pay attention to is you want to make sure that price is very likely to range while you're doing this. So you want to see an established range previous, and you want to see this consolidating sideways, so that you're guaranteed another step in that range, so that you can go, when price goes to the top of that range, buy your put. When price goes to the bottom of that range, buy your call.
So what I should have done earlier, basically.
Right. So when the price was wavering up and down back here, that would have been the time to leg into that.
Right. Okay. So in the range, as it's going up by the put, as it goes to the bottom of the range by the call.
Correct.
Right. Thank you. Sorry, like I say, I need to say things 6 times before I understand it. I get you.
Oh, no problem.
Me too.
Like I said,
I'll keep an eye out for that.
I don't mind repeating it at all. It does not harm me in any way, and in fact, it benefits everyone in the group as well as me. It just, the more I repeat it, the more it sticks for me too. So don't feel bad about repeating it.
I'll try and only do it while I'm putting trades on them. All right.
I'm trying to set up Webull. How much should I put in there? A couple hundred?
That's kind of on you. So whenever you open an account, if you want to just practice with strangles with it, you could do it as low as $50 if for all you care, because with the strikes we're playing with, the outlay isn't that huge. But having a little bit extra in there just to start out and learn with, 100 or so is fine. Give yourself some cushion for a little bit of loss if it happens.
And then the other question is, do you recommend me doing this on my phone, or do I need my laptop?
With Webull, you can do either. So with your, if you build the account on your phone, you can actually use your phone to log in to the app on your computer. So you could download the desktop version, And then when you go to log in, you can ask it for a QR code, and then you just read the QR code with your phone, with your account unlocked on your phone, and it'll log you right into the desktop version. So it's really cool.
Okay, yeah, no, that sounds good. I'm trying to get that set up.
And you can access it. Well, for a while they had an issue where you couldn't access it at the same time with your computer and your phone, but I think they fixed that by now. I haven't tried it yet. Uh-oh.
Okay, so one thing I am going to ask is forgiveness right now because most of the time I'm working, so sometimes you might hear background noise, but
Quite
as soon as
all right.
I get done talking, I'll turn it off where y'all don't keep hearing it.
Oh, it's quite fine. Yeah, as long as you're muted when you're not talking, that's totally cool. I don't mind background noise. I spent many years as a mechanic, so I understand background noise.
Yeah.
That's the sound of money being made.
Well, sometimes it could be overpowering, but I'll try to stop away to minimize it.
Whoa.
You seeing that?
I'm seeing the price action too, but I'm also seeing a note from Robinhood here. Hang on a second. This is interesting.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, they got cleared to do whatever the hell they want, pretty much.
Oh, that was another equity we could look at too, by the way. I'll get there in a second. Robinhood, apparently they're trying to promote their gold. Let me read the article here. They just sent me a link. Huge news. Now you can earn 3% interest on your uninvested cash when you give Robinhood Gold another go. That's 23 times the national average rate. Yeah, for now. The rates are going up. They're already paying 1.5% on a non-gold account. So 3% on a gold account, not bad. I forget what their monthly rate is on the gold account, but I don't have a gold account. I don't need one, but now that they're offering double the interest on it, I might consider it. That would certainly take care of my monthly.
I think it was a fake out on SPY.
Oh yeah, we're wiggling back in that range.
Okay, so the share price on Ford now is sort of reaching the top of that channel. Would now be a good time to go back in and buy that put?
This is a time of caution here. You want to wait till you see
Okay.
a reversal at the top. So.
Right, it's got a reverse. Right, sorry.
It might. Hang in there. You want to see that it's going to confirm a range first. And now this looks a lot like a reversal for the moment. So let's see if we can find a target. Looking at VWAP, it's just about 1216. We could see it push that high. There's a pivot right there at 1215, so why not? So we'd like to see this go and reject 1215, and then we would get our opportunity. So if we see a reversal when it hits that pivot, you could add to that put, and then be ready to add the call to
Okay.
encapsulate that position. All right, just about 10 after 11. I'm going to wrap up the session on YouTube for you guys, and we'll see you again on Monday. And we've got a lot more coming, so if you are listening on our YouTube channel or watching on our YouTube channel, that is, like and subscribe, and hit the alerts bell, because we're going to do more and more and more of this. I'm looking at myself starting in a week or two doing probably 3 broadcasts a day. I'll do the morning scalps, the afternoon options setups, and watch list builds, and then the afternoon scalps. I'm gonna try and get out there 3 times a day, and I think the amount of knowledge we drop in those, I mean, we're giving a lot away, but when you join the membership, you get the hands-on approach. We'll take care of you. Like you hear Victoria in the background, you hear a couple of our other members here in the background. They're asking questions, and we will take the approach to handle those hands-on. And not just that, later on we'll go back and forth and chat and explain things, and then I'm also going to put some more material together where we can have tutorials that we have exclusively to our members, breaking down every aspect of these trades that we're taking and teaching how to do them. And that's the value you get. Plus, we have a next level library for you advanced options traders that will blow your mind. There is so much more to this than just strangles and condors. There's many ways to profit in the market, and we're working through the basics here on YouTube and walking our members through our newer members through it as well. But later on, when everybody gets a handle on this stuff and starts to really get into the advanced stuff, man, it's just going to open doors for everybody. So we'll get there. Stay tuned. Anyway, we'll see you guys later on the YouTube end, and we'll keep plugging away at our live stream in the Discord here, so don't go anywhere.